She said I was just her backup, then proposed to someone else in front of everyone. The restaurant smelled like roses and expensive perfume. Everyone was dressed for celebration. But not me. I stood there, frozen, invisible, as she smiled across the room, her hand trembling with nervous excitement. The diamond ring glittered under the chandelier, but it wasn't mine. She was on one knee, proposing to him, and I was standing 10 feet away, holding the flowers I bought for her. The laughter, the applause, the sound of champagne popping, it all melted into static. Her voice trembled as she said, "You were always there for me, but I've realized who I truly want." Her eyes flicked toward me, just for a second, enough for me to see the guilt behind the glamour. Then she looked away, as if I was no longer real. Everyone thought I was a friend, a guest. Only she and I knew the truth, that I'd been the man who held her when she cried, who paid her rent when she was broke, who believed in her when no one else did. And now, I was her backup plan she'd just thrown away. They say betrayal feels like a knife, but no, it's slower, it's quieter. It's the sound of your own heart realizing the person you trusted most was only ever pretending. We met 3 years ago, in the rain. She'd been standing under a broken streetlight, soaked and furious after a fight with her boyfriend. I offered her my umbrella. By the time we reached her apartment, she was laughing. By the time I left, I was in love. When she told me she'd broken up with him, I thought fate had given me a sign. She leaned on me for everything: job troubles, family drama, her dreams. I became her safety net, her stability, her secret comfort. But she never said the words I wanted to hear. Us, forever, mine. Only, you're my constant. I mistook that for love. When she told me she was going on a date again, I felt a crack form somewhere deep inside. I played it cool. I even helped her pick out her dress. Because that's what you do when you think loyalty earns you love. Then, last week, she invited me to this special dinner. Said she wanted me there because you've always supported me. I didn't realize I was walking into my own funeral, watching her future unfold with someone else while I stood like a ghost in the room. I didn't cry that night, not once. I walked home under the same streetlight where we met, still broken, still flickering, and something inside me shifted. I began replaying every conversation, every look, every lie disguised as affection. Her "I miss you," her "you're different," her "I don't know what I'd do without you." I realized I'd been kept on a leash, fed just enough warmth to keep me from walking away. So I didn't call her. I didn't text. I simply watched. Her social media lit up with pictures. Hashtag he said yes. Hashtag forever. Each post was a knife polished in sunlight. But pain has a way of teaching precision, and I was done being blind. I started noticing the patterns, the messages she deleted, the old photos she hid, the mutual friends who looked away when I entered the room. Then, one night, I checked my email. A receipt. Her flight to Bali, booked 2 weeks before the proposal. 2 tickets. His name, hers, the date. The destination where she had once told me, if I ever find true love, that's where I'll go. It was planned, the proposal, the betrayal, the entire performance. I didn't feel anger anymore, just a cold, clinical curiosity about what happens when someone like her gets exposed in the same light she used to blind others. 2 nights before their engagement party, I sent her a message, a simple one: "Meet me. Just once, no drama." She replied within minutes, "Please don't make this harder than it has to be." Harder? She had no idea what hard was. When she arrived, she looked perfect, always did. Red lipstick, hair like fire. But her smile faltered when she saw what I placed on the table between us. My phone, playing a recording of her voice. Her words from 2 months ago. "If this doesn't work out with him, at least I have you. You always wait for me." She froze, her pulse visible in her throat. I didn't yell, didn't accuse, I just looked at her and said quietly, "That's who I was to you? A backup?" Tears started, not because she cared, but because she realized the mask was slipping. She whispered, "You weren't supposed to hear that." I leaned back. "You mean I wasn't supposed to remember it?" Her voice broke. "I made a mistake. I didn't mean it like that." But that's the thing about lies. Once the truth cuts through them, the echo of deception doesn't fade. It screams. I stood up, slid the phone toward her, and walked away. For the first time, she couldn't follow me with her eyes, because she knew I wasn't her constant anymore. I was the consequence. The night of her engagement, I arrived early, uninvited. The place was drenched in golden light, laughter, champagne, the illusion of happiness. And there she was, in a silver gown that caught every reflection like a mirror of lies. When the toasts began, I stepped forward, holding a small gift box. She froze. Her fiancé smiled politely. "I'm her constant," I said. The crowd laughed, not understanding. She went pale. I opened the box. Inside was a flash drive. "Just a small gift," I said, "something to remember me by." I left before anyone could stop me. By the time the slideshow started, her fiancé, her family all gathered. The air had already begun to tighten. Because what played wasn't a slideshow of their love story. It was her words, her voice, that one line. "If this doesn't work out with him, at least I have you." Then silence. A silence so deep it swallowed the entire hall. Her fiancé turned to her, eyes sharp, face cold. She stammered something, tried to speak, but there was nothing left to say. I didn't need to see the rest. By the time she realized what I'd done, I was already halfway across town. It's been months. I don't check her social media anymore. Her engagement fell apart. She moved away. They say revenge doesn't heal you. Maybe that's true. But what it does is remind you that pain can be turned into precision, that silence can cut deeper than shouting. Sometimes I pass by that same broken streetlight. It still flickers, still broken. But this time I don't stop. I don't look back. She wanted me to be her backup. Instead, I became her lesson. And that, I realize, is the only closure I ever needed.
How could you do this?